Hello everyone, I hope you've had a great day so far and that you're doing well. For this video we'll be going through a retrospective unbagging, still, for another issue of Imperium, specifically issue 55. Now Imperium is for the Warhammer 40,000 setting, and Imperium, at least for Australia, this would have been around mid-2023, back in the day. Otherwise, for other locations, UK, US, would have been a few years even before that. So some time has passed, hence why it's a retrospective for Imperium. Anyway, getting straight into it, issue number 55 here. So on the front of the issue, it appears we might have a little bit of a scene between, I suspect it might be Iron Hands and Death Guard, which would make sense. So yeah, I think that's a bit of a scene between an Iron Hand Space Marine and a Death Guard Plague Marine. It might even be a Plague Bearer here on the far left. As for what's in this issue, so this will be a terrain-based issue. We will get some additional Thermic plasma conduits. Now I think this first came about in issue 37, I think. So it's not the first time we've seen them, but we do get a few more. So get to see those. Otherwise, build and paint some terrain, lore information about the Iron Hands, and there will be some stratagems for the Adeptus Mechanicus. So in terms of the contents of the issue, Battle Zone Mechanicus will be pretty much starting off the actual issue. Then from a lore perspective, we'll have that section for the Iron Hands, followed by a section for the Ecclesiarchy. Build and paint the plasma conduits, and then from a play side of things, the Adeptus Mechanicus stratagems, secondary objectives, and the Genitorum as a scenario. So, Battle Zone Mechanicus, so just going over some of the features of a Hive service and a Mechanicus Battle Zone, I dare say. So some of this is probably a bit of a feature for the upcoming terrain and things like that. There's a bit of a battle record here and some sector battles, just to throw in a bit of some random dice generator content there. The Iron Hands, Sons of Ferrus Manus, so we get a little bit of a chapter lore section here for them. It'll be shorter and probably be the usual front to back, so here's the front of it, there is the back. So we do have a section there for the Iron Father Malcolm Ferrus. I think he's just equivalent to a captain, not a chapter master. And then the usual saying the flesh is weak, that the Iron Hands tend to stand by. So there's that. Adepta Sororitas, the Ecclesiarchy. So a nice bit of section, more story there, and some different what I don't want to say, people, I guess. We'll just leave it at people. So missionaries, preachers, death cult assassins, crusaders, etc. Now it's interesting about the Ecclesiarchy because I think the Ecclesiarchy is bit of the current modern day setting of what Lorgar was trying to do back in the day. Anyway, moving along, how to build the plasma conduits, so the usual clipping, mold lines, things that you shouldn't glue, etc. So building actual conduits together, which is always nice to see. So we will get those nice instructions on how to do all of that. And then followed by what they actually look like once everything is put together. How to paint. So we'll be pretty much going straight in with the lead belcher, retributor armor to bring out some of the piping detail, Rune Lord brass as well. So more piping, cooling fans, vents, and other details. And then Agrax Earthshade over, pretty much the whole thing. Corn red to start bringing out some of the bodies of different parts, tanks, Macragge blue, unsurprisingly Norn oil, and yes, there we go. It was actually issue 37 here. There we had some. So we're updating some of the models that we were provided with then, with the paints that have been introduced since issue 37 in this particular issue of 55. So that's just going back and touching up some of those, which I guess also will include the ones provided by this issue. There's some skulls on how to paint them in the different tones there. So overall, final gallery there of the Conduits. Probably not fully completed, but those are looking very nice. Adeptus Mechanicus stratagems, some of them may have changed. I won't spend too much time on them. And there's obviously a quick tutorial on them as well. The concepts of secondary objectives, and a bit of a tutorial there. And then the Genitorum, Necrons Imperium, and the actual mission breakdown there. So, pretty stock standard issue here. Typical flash page there for Imperium. Then on the back we have the preview for 2 issues, 56, 57. 56 will be a paint issue, and then 57 we will get another Necron Tombblade. So I think this will be the second one so far throughout the magazine series. So there is that. What else was included with this particular issue? Obviously the sprue for the Conduits, which do look very, very cool, very nice and detailed, and at some point in time this sprue is probably going to break apart. But there we go. I do like the detailing on them, they do look really, really cool. So there is that. So with that now out of the way, and unsurprisingly, what was eventually going to happen has happened, and they're now 2 half sprues. Now, issue 55 also brought to an end of the little 4-issue blob as part of my subscription at the time. So usually what I do is a quick costing summary of the subscription cost versus what it would cost to buy everything retail. So by the end of issue 55, everything all up together, if bought at retail, granted I haven't factored in inflation and things like that, it was around the order of 3,300 Australian dollars. So after 55 issues of terrain, paints, minis, etc., $3,300, which is a decent amount of money. From a subscription perspective, so doing the actual direct subscription, it's actually only, for the sake of rounding, 1,100 Australian. So basically, as of issue 55, subscription is basically costed about a third of what it would have been to get this directly through retail, or even through third-party channels. So interesting what the actual net savings of the subscription was at the time, compared to what it would have been to have bought things retail. Now granted, it's probably less than 3,300, because obviously I'm using modern pricing and not pricing effective as of 2023. Still, a third of the savings is still pretty much there from the subscription, so can't complain with that. Anyway, with that nice little revelation done, it's pretty much wrapping up the retrospective page through and unbagging of issue 55 of Imperium. Thank you very much for watching this video. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. All of this does help support the channel, and I do appreciate it. Extra content is also on my Instagram. Also feel free to check out the YouTube community tab, both basically used to post work in progress stuff of whatever I'm working on. Sometimes it's 40k, sometimes it's not. Feel free to check out both. With that being said, stay safe and take care, and I'll catch you all in a future video, which may very well be issue 56 of the Imperium page through, or something else on the channel. See ya.